All right, so we're going to start with those standing Arnold presses. So holding our dumbbells with the dumbbells facing with our palms facing ourselves, and then pressing them overhead and making sure that our palms face the opposite way. So when our hands are here at the bottom, we want to make sure that our palms are facing our face. Then as we push them overhead, we're going to twist them and make our palms face away from ourselves. And good job. Now we're going to move into our air squats. So with our feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, toes are pointed outwards, we're going to sit down, make sure our knees are coming over our toes and keeping our chest up nice and high. And then when you get to the top here, I want you to squeeze your bum together. And good job. Now we're going to do those standing hamstring curls. So if you have, you're going to place a band around your shins. If not, that's okay. Grab onto something for support, and we'll do 10 on our one leg and then 10 on the other. Again, really trying to contract those hamstring muscles at the back of your thigh. And then switching legs. And good job. Now we're going to move into those side step or those skaters, picking whatever variation works for you. I'm going to do those side steps. So again, we have a slight bend in our knees and at our hips. And we're going to take a step to the side, making sure to lift up both of our feet as we step over. And good job. Now we're going to move back to the top of that. So starting again with those Arnold presses. So grabbing our dumbbells, having our palms face our face. Then from there, we're going to push upwards, twist our hands 80 degrees so our palms are facing outwards. And reversing that movement on the way down, and then repeating. Making sure to keep that movement nice and slow and controlled. Good job. Then from there, we're going to get back into our air squats. If you have a band as well, you can do banded air squats. So keeping that band around your shins, or you can also place that band around your thighs, and you're just going to do those regular squats. So having that band around your legs is just going to increase the resistance. Or you could have your weights up on your shoulders or goblet squat. Good job. Now we're going to move into those hamstring curls. So if you have, placing that band around your shins, grabbing onto something for support, and just flexing at that knee. Really trying to focus on contracting those hamstring muscles. You're also going to want to keep your foot in a dorsiflex position, which just means you're pulling your toes towards your shin. And then switching sides once you've gotten 10 on your one leg. And good job. Now we're going to move back into those side steps or the skaters. I'll show you guys how to do the skaters this round. And good job. Now we're going to go back to the top, starting with those Arnold presses. So again, holding our dumbbells so that our palms are facing our faces. Then we're going to push them overhead and rotate our hands 180 degrees so then our palms are facing outwards. And then reversing that movement on the way down. And remember, trying to relax our shoulders so our shoulders aren't up at our ears. We want them nice and down and relaxed. And one more rep. Good job. And now we're going to do those air squats again. So again, our feet are just a little bit wider than shoulder width. Toes are pointed outwards and our knees are guiding over our toes and then standing back up. And remember, you can always hold your weights up on your shoulders. Trying to keep our chest nice and upright. And good job. Now we're going to move back into those standing hamstring curls. So placing that band around your shin if you have one. Grabbing onto something for support. And we're just going to flex our knee, bringing our heel towards our bum. And then switching sides once you've accumulated 10 reps on the one side. And good job. Now we're going to move back into those side steps or those skaters, choosing whatever variation works for you. And good job. So now we're going to move into 4 different movements. So taking that band off of your legs if you have one on. And for this round, we're going to do some upright rows. So holding those dumbbells at the front of our thighs, and we're going to pull them upwards towards our chin, making sure that we're also pulling from the elbows. So we don't want to be pulling from the wrists like this. We want our elbows nice and high and pretending that there's someone pulling our elbows upwards. Then after that, we're going to do a split leg deadlift. So a normal deadlift, we'd have our feet together like this. For a split leg, we're going to have one foot out in front. Then from there, we're going to lower those dumbbells and then lift them upwards and then back down. So during this movement, you want to make sure that your back is nice and flat the whole time. And then obviously we would switch legs as well. So just same movement with our other leg out in front. Then after that, we're going to do some standing side bends. So with one of our dumbbells in hand, the other hand on our hip, we're going to bend towards that dumbbell and then push it through, upwards and through, And then just repeating that on the one side and then switching to the other side. Then after that, we're going to do some butt kickers for 30 seconds per round. So butt kickers like this, bringing your heels up towards your bum. If that jumping motion is a bit too much impact for your lower limbs, then you can just lift those heels up towards your bum. And remember, you can always hold on to something for a bit of support if you need. So we'll get right into that. Get our timer going again. And we'll start with those upright rows. So dumbbells are up on top of our thighs here, and then we're pulling upwards towards our chin, making sure to keep our elbows nice and high. And again, just like when we're doing a shoulder press, we want to make sure that our shoulders are nice and relaxed. We don't want our shoulders to be coming up to our ears like that. We want to keep them nice and relaxed. Good job. Now we're going to move into those split leg deadlifts. So to start, we'll have our feet together under our hips. Then we'll bring our right foot out and forwards as if we were to take a step, but instead we're going to plant those toes down. Then from there, we're going to hold one dumbbell on each side of that right limb. And then we're going to lower those dumbbells down to about mid-shin and making sure to keep your back nice and flat the whole time. Then coming back upwards. And you can have a slight bend in your left knee as well. So this is really going to target our right hamstring muscle. Good job. Now we're going to switch sides. So again, starting with both of our feet under our hips, then take a step out with your left foot, bring those toes down to the floor, have both of your dumbbells on one side of your left leg, bringing those dumbbells to about mid-shin, keeping your back straight. Then from there, we're going to lift them back up. Again, you can have a little bend in your right leg, but most of that movement is going to be coming from that hip hinge movement. So you can think of kind of bowing your chest down like you're going to bow to someone. And good job. Now we're going to move into those standing side bends. So placing one of our dumbbells to the side and holding the one dumbbell in our hand, our other hand is on our hip. Then we're going to bend towards that dumbbell and then bring it upwards and through to the other side. And remember, when you're doing these side bends, you want to keep your body in a nice straight line. And then switching sides, so taking that dumbbell into that other hand, placing our other hand on our hip, bending down towards that dumbbell, and then pushing upwards and pulling that dumbbell through. And good job. Now we're going to move into those butt kickers. So we're going to do this one for 30 seconds. I'll just make sure that I can see the clock. And we'll begin. And again, if this jumping motion is a bit too hard on your lower limbs, then just bring those heels up towards your bum. And 10 seconds left, keep going. And good job. Now we're going to start back up again with those upright rows. So starting with those dumbbells out in front on our thighs, then we're going to pull them upwards towards our chin, making sure to pull our elbows, keeping our elbows nice and high in the air. And remember, trying to keep your shoulders relaxed here. And good job. Now we're going to move into those split leg deadlifts. So starting with our feet under our hips, we're going to pretend to take one step out with our right foot, bring those toes down to the ground, place our dumbbells at the sides of each of our right leg. Then we're going to bring them down towards the floor at about mid-shin level and then come back upwards. Again, we really want to try to keep our back as straight as we possibly can in this movement. And then switching to that other leg once you've gotten 10 reps. So again, starting with our feet under our hips, we're going to take a step out with our left foot, bring those left toes down to the ground. Then from there, placing a dumbbell at each side of that left leg and then coming down to the ground at about mid-shin and then pulling back upwards. Again, making sure to keep your back nice and flat and straight. And good job. Now we're going to move back into those standing side bends. So placing one of our dumbbells to the side. And then we're going to bend toward that dumbbell in our hand and then push it upwards and through. So really trying to crunch that side core here, those obliques. And making sure that our body is staying in a nice straight line throughout the movement. And then we're going to switch hands. And good job. Now we're going to move back into those butt kickers. And we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Again, you can always choose to do a little bit of a lower impact option. And we're over halfway. Try to pick it up if you can. And good job. Now we're going to move back into those upright rows one more time. So again, dumbbells are out in front of our legs. We're pulling those dumbbells up towards our chin, keeping our elbows nice and high. Trying to make sure that our shoulders are relaxed throughout the movement as well. Good job. Now we're going to move into those split leg deadlifts. So feet are under our hips. We're going to take a step forward with our right foot, bring those right toes down to the floor, place a dumbbell at each side of that right leg. Then from there, we're going to hinge at the hips to bring those dumbbells to about mid-shin level. Then we're going to pull them back up. Again, making sure to keep your back nice and flat throughout the movement. And then switching legs. So now taking a step out with that left foot, bringing those left toes down to the ground, placing our dumbbells at each side of our left leg, and then taking those dumbbells down to about mid-shin, and then bringing them back upwards again. Make sure you're nice and controlled throughout this movement. Keeping that back nice and straight. Good job. Now we're going to move into those side bends one last time. So holding one dumbbell with our hand, the other hand on our hips, bending towards that dumbbell, and then coming up and through. Making sure we keep our body in a nice straight line, and really trying to engage that core and also those obliques on our side. And then switching hands, placing that dumbbell in our other hand. And good job. Then we're going to finish this round off with some of those butt kickers again for 30 seconds. And 5 seconds. And done. Now we're going to move into round 3 here. So for this third round, we're going to start with some bicep curls to a shoulder press, just like we've done in the past. Then after that, we're going to move into some lunges. And again, if you can't bring that knee all the way down to the floor, then just take a big step backwards with one of your feet. Bring your knee as low as you can, then step forwards. Then after our lunges, we're going to move into a single leg balance. So just balancing on one of our feet for 30 seconds, then we'll switch and do the other side. Then from there, we're going to do some jump rope. If, again, that impact from jumping is a bit too much for you, then you can just do some standing marches. So we'll get right into that, starting with our bicep curl. So keeping our arms nice and tight to the sides of our body, we're going to lift those dumbbells up to our shoulders, then press them overheads. And we'll get 2 more reps here. And then we're going to move into our lunges. So again, starting with our feet under our hips, then we're going to take a big step backwards with one of our legs. Try to bring that knee to the floor. If you can't bring that knee to the floor, going as low as you can, and then bringing that foot to meet up the other one. And then just repeating with our other leg. Remember, trying to keep your core nice and upright throughout the lunge. So I don't want you to fall down to the floor with your core here when you go down. I want you to stay nice and upright. And good job. Now we're going to move into that single leg balance for 30 seconds. So let's start on our left leg. And we're halfway there. And switch to your right leg. And 3, 2, 1, and we're moving into that jump rope. Again, if that impact is a bit harsh on your lower limbs, doing some nice marches here. And 10 seconds left. And good job. Now we're going to grab our biceps, or sorry, grab our dumbbells again. Move into those bicep curls into a shoulder press. Making sure to keep our core nice and engaged throughout the whole time. So we're not swinging those dumbbells up to our shoulders. We're actively lifting them and then pushing them overhead. Good job. Now we're going to move back into those lunges. And remember, when you bring that back leg to meet your front leg, really think about pushing through that front thigh and that front leg heel. And 2 more on each leg. And good job. Now we're going to move back into that single leg balance. And we'll start on our left leg again. And 10 seconds left. And we'll switch to our right leg. And 5 seconds left. After this, we're going to get back into those jump ropes. And back into those jump ropes. Or doing those marches. And 10 seconds left. Try to pick it up if you can. And good job. Now we're going to move into our round 4. So we're going to start with doing some single leg lifts. So getting down onto the ground here, onto our backs, and we're going to lift our one leg 10 times. Then we'll switch sides and do the other leg, making sure to keep both your legs as straight as you can. Then after that, we're going to move on to our hands and our feet, and we're going to do some mountain climbers. If that mountain climber is a little tough on your body, what you can do instead is some standing knee to elbows. So, and then taking whatever variation works for you. So we're gonna do a little rapid round here, starting with that single leg lift. I'm just gonna bring my timer down here so I can see it. So, keeping our hands at our sides, we're gonna lift that right leg up towards the sky, keeping both our right and our left leg nice and straight. And then switching sides, so lifting that left leg towards the sky now. Good job. And then we're gonna move on to our hands and our toes, getting into 30 seconds of mountain climbers. Again, if this is uncomfortable for you, then you can do some standing knee to elbows. And starting now. Again, your other option is that standing knee to elbow. And 5 seconds left. Good job. Now we're going to move back into those single leg lifts. And if you don't want to get back down onto the floor, what you can do is you can do these from a seated position. So if I'm sitting in a chair, I'll just be extending at that knee. Otherwise, we're down on the floor, lifting our right leg into the sky. And then switching legs. And then we're going to roll back over onto our hands and our toes. And we're going to get into those mountain climbers right now. And again, our other option would be those standing knee to elbows. And we're halfway there, so try to pick it up if we can. And good job. So now, let's try to do a 1-minute plank together before we get ready to go into our cool down. So, taking whatever option works for you. So you could do from your knees in your hands, knees in your elbows, toes in your elbows, or you could do that plank against the wall. So we'll get started right now. And we'll see if we can hold 45 seconds. So really trying to make sure that we're breathing throughout this. We're over halfway there. And finished. Good job, everybody.